This is like comedy.
This is comedy. This is art now.
If I were you, and thank God I'm not, I would get your. I would get your.
You could do that. What you're thankful for tomorrow. I'm thankful that I'm not these idiots. I'm Dan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Bourbon Sauced.
And today we are here with JT from Bearded Viking Mead Company.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just living on top of my mountain out here in Montana.
Oh, man, I want to be on a mountain.
Yeah.
I hear if we drink enough mead, you'll feel like you're on a mountain.
Or you might feel like you're drunk.
So, JT, we met you at the Marine Corps birthday, but it just also happened to be an event in Nashville.
It did.
Yeah, it was. There was the you guys got it. You're rocking it right there. They're rocking the Green Beret event right there.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's like to have one of those mugs.
What happened to yours?
Mine was stolen out of the back seat of the truck that we rented that night.
How does one get a mug stolen out of a rental car?
Well, you park in front of your Airbnb in Nashville, and that's kind of
and
what
leave
happens.
the door unlocked.
No. I wish we would have left the door unlocked because then we would have had to pay for the broken window.
Oh, they made you pay for the broken window?
Oh yeah.
What kind of horse shit is that?
Well, it's the worst kind of horse shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of behind the power curve. Our guest is already drinking.
Well, we have these cool mugs that we were going to drink out of, and we wanted to have you join us with your cool mug. That was an awesome pop.
Yeah, it was. It was great. I can't get that shit to happen on my side.
It was the wrist action.
Oh.
I have this corny knockoff horn that I got from a medieval times event that I took my kid to years ago that I thought would have been more appropriate to drink mead out of because, you know, Vikings either drink out of the skulls of their enemy or a horn or some other wooden vessel.
Or a glass with a bullet in it.
Right, there you go. And this is Tyr. Am I pronouncing that right? Tyr? Yeah. And it's a Norse god of something.
Friendship and justice.
I know it's a Norse god. Oh, you want yours in the horn?
I'll take a bit in the horn.
Absolutely.
Like taking a bit in the rear.
That one is the most complex alcohol that I make, actually.
I'm debating on the mug or the skull.
I think you should do the skull.
Okay.
Just
I'll do the skull.
And then we can do the Valkyrie out of the other one. You know?
Yeah, there you go. That way you're not mixing and matching or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it. That's weird. Just so you know, that's weird.
What's weird?
I would pull the top off that.
It's actually
like a Stein, you know?
It's actually metalled on. So the band is actually forged onto it.
So we're drinking Tyr. This is a, for most people that don't understand, because we normally do bourbon. So we're going a little off course here. But what is on course is that you're a veteran. Mm-hmm. And so we like to do, sometimes we like to bring on veterans and talk about how they made the transition out of the military and what they decided to do after the fact. Can you talk a little bit about what you did in the Marine Corps, how long you did that for, and then what led you to making mead?
Yeah, so I spent 8 years in the Corps. I was a Marine infantryman. Oh, yeah. Cheers, motherfuckers.
Sorry.
Anyway, so I spent 8 years in the Corps as an infantryman. I enlisted on September 12th of 2001 because I was a patriot or something at the time. And I was an 0311, which is a basic rifleman, and an 0313, which is an LAV crewman. As an LAV crewman, that was my primary MOS. And I was part of the invasion into Iraq, attached to Task Force Tarawa. So we pushed through on Nazari. You guys don't remember that because nobody ever talks about it, but it was the biggest battle of the invasion. Marines were fighting house to house and street to street, and it was, good times or whatever. Feels like a lifetime ago because it was.
Right.
I spent 8 years in the Corps, and then I got out and I missed it. So I joined the Utah Army National Guard, and then I became a combat engineer in a sapper company. The only reason why I joined the sapper company was because it was the easiest transition from being an infantryman, similar tactics, similar things. And I just joined because I was tired of being deployed overseas all the time. And so I was like, I'll just help out Americans. And then 3 months after I enlisted, we got our Warno to go to Afghanistan and do route clearance, which, by the way, is the most bullshit job you could ever do.
I agree. I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So spent 6 years doing that. Only deployed to Afghanistan one time. Went to Iraq one time, and then kind of listed other deployments to all other parts of the country or the world. I think I'm at 92 countries now. Deployed a lot. And then got out and spent like 10 years trying to figure out what I was going to do in my life. Became a cybersecurity project manager. Still am that as of right now. And then the pandemic hit, and I have had this voluptuous beard. And I don't like being thanked for my service. It drives me crazy. So I try to look the very opposite of what a veteran looks like. And so I was going to the grocery store in Salt Lake, and they had the stupid mask mandate thing on. And so I put the stupid mask on because I ran out of Coors Banquets because I like a full-figured beer. And was in the grocery store, and the mask pushed up over my eyes. So I pulled the mask down so I could fucking see. And this gal from across the grocery store pulled her mask down and started yelling at me and running up to me to tell me that I was touching my mask. And I was like, okay, I can't human anymore. I'm over this entire experience. And then I was like, I'll just go to the bar. It's fine. Because I'd run out of alcohol. So I went to the bar. And they were like, hey, last call's at 9:30. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like 9:30? Like, I just barely got here. Well, COVID comes out after 10. You can stay and drink water or Pepsi or Coke or whatever, but like alcohol induces COVID. And I was like, what? No, it doesn't.
I heard bourbon and whiskey actually cures COVID.
I think it cures your ability to have to deal with it, but yes, definitely.
Same.
And so it's like, fuck it, whatever. I've got to figure something out. So like, I call my drug dealer, just looking for some weed. And my drug dealer is like, I can't sell you drugs. I can't sell you weed because of the fact I might kill you. And I'm like, wait, you're a fucking drug dealer. You have a moral compass? What is going on here? I know that you don't just sell weed. You tried to sell me other really hard shit that I've never done and never will do. I'm just like, I just want to deal with work. Like being a project manager is stressful as all get out. So I was like, all right, whatever. And that night I was just looking at Amazon at like different brew kits to see about brewing my own beer at home and what that would look like, and put a bunch in my cart on Amazon, and I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was like, I don't know, whatever. So she goes to work. I work remotely. And whenever I work, I always have like a movie playing in the background because I mostly don't care what the clients are saying because they don't know what they're actually talking about. So I just tell them what we're going to be doing, and then the engineers go do the thing we're supposed to do. And I was watching The 13th Warrior. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it.
Oh, yes.
Great flick, based off the book Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton.
Okay.
So Antonio Banderas is a Muslim outcast poet in that, and he's been banished for sleeping with like the sheik's second niece's uncle's daughter or something. I don't know. So he's banished, and he's supposed to go out and postulate, the faith of Islam throughout the world. And he ends up in a Viking, I guess, village, not a village, a raiding party that, there was the death of a king, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, basically, he gets chosen as the 13th warrior. He can't be a Viking, to go and fight these humans that eat the heads of their enemy and a whole bunch of shit. Really cool movie. I don't really care about the spoiler alert. At the very end, there's only six of the 13 warriors left. And there's a part where Antonio Banderas looks like he needs a drink, just like every single time after I went to drill or was in combat. Just wanted a drink. And one of the characters offers him a horn of mead. And he's like, I can't drink fermented fruit of the vine or hops and barley. And he said, it's honey. It's made with honey. Right? Well, I had just barely harvested 100 pounds of honey from my own hives, and I had no idea what the fuck to do with it. So I canceled the rest of my meetings for the week, because it was the funny times of COVID and you could do whatever the fuck you wanted and nobody checked on you because they didn't want to know. And so I went to YouTube University. Actually, what I did is I searched, how do I turn honey into hooch? And then it brought up YouTube and brought up mead. And so that's where the journey started. I taught myself how to make mead on YouTube, which is really simple. 3 pounds of honey, 1 gallon of water, put a packet of yeast in it, shake it like an ocean money, put in the garage, or put a bubbler on top, put it in the closet for 6 months or whatever, and then drink it. And that's the basis of mead.
Right. Just fermented.
Yeah, just fermented honey. Yeah,
so the enemy was the vendo.
Yeah, the ven.
And they had the fire verm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely true.
So you decided to start making mead.
Yeah. And my first batch I actually got to ferment. I used a champagne yeast called EC118, and it burned through the honey in 6 days. So in mead, you have to age it usually. But I was like, I have to deal with clients and COVID and this shit. No, I'm drinking whatever the hell this is. So it was about 21% alcohol. What you guys are drinking right now is 15.2%.
Mm-hmm. And this is from batch 1.
Yep.
And this one says it's bottle 397.
Yeah. I get a lot of pear and a lot of clove.
Well, you should, 'cause it says it's a pear wine.
I caught that part, but I'm saying like that stands out the most for me. There's other ingredients.
Yeah. So the way that drinks when it's warm, like room temperature, is it's pear on the front of the tongue, cinnamon across the middle, followed by light honey notes and a clove burn on the back end. As a bourbon drinker, the clove burn kind of looks, it feels like a rye almost. Got that like nice burn.
I chilled them for about 25 minutes.
Okay. So when you chill them, what happens is the pear stands out and the clove drops on the back end. If you put it on ice, the clove almost goes away and it's just pear, cinnamon, honey.
Which is similar with the bourbon. When you do that, the rye kind of dies down when you put it on ice. So it's interesting. It has a similar effect, the cloviness. But I do get all those notes, which is awesome about the mead and bourbon in itself, is that you can pick up those different notes in them.
So is this also like wine where once you uncork it, it only survives so long?
Yeah, so the problem with, well, a couple things about mead. So mead is the only alcohol that actually ages in a bottle. So
I learned something new.
1-year-old mead. It's probably the only bottle that is 1 year old that is not one of the special ones behind me or one of the other guys' special ones. So what happens, and this is just some for knowledge for everybody. So this is your headspace, right? And so the more you drink it down, the more oxygen that comes into the top, right? And so what happens in wine and fermented products is there's a carbon dioxide layer that sits right here. Well, the bigger your space is, the less that carbon dioxide layer can protect the flavor of the meat, of the alcohol. So that's why wine changes flavor and turns vinegary, is because it oxidizes.
Okay. I've heard of people putting, there's another chemical, that nitrogen that they shoot in there, or there's something.
It's nitrogen. So what they'll do, they'll introduce nitrogen gas through the top, and it creates an additional layer on top of the carbon dioxide.
Right.
That's also what they do to shitty out-of-season grocery store vegetables. They shoot it full of nitrogen and then plop it in your grocery store when it's out of season and it's ripe and ready, but it's tasteless.
I like to be ripe and ready.
Yeah. That's really a unique way of explaining how people get scammed at a grocery store.
So we've tried meads, and there was one you found. It's one. I think it's it was either I think it's the blue bottle one or a black bottle one. One of the two. One of them was really no, thank you.
That was the blue bottle. That was no, thank you.
Yeah,
But the other one I found that was in that black bottle.
I could sit here. I could just I could drink this in probably one sitting.
That was from overseas. That one, one that I found.
Yep. It's
this is good.
The Viking's blood.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. And
Viking's Blood was the one that I drank, and I was like, "Oh, that one's fucking good."
Yeah, so I always ask people, "Have you ever had mead before?" And then they'll say yes or no, and I always ask, "Have you ever had good mead before?" And then the
Have
next
you
question:
ever drank a competitor, possibly Bee Nectar,
Yeah,
out of Michigan?
yeah,
What do you think about their product?
I think it's an okay product.
I agree with you. I do. I think it's an okay product. Also, I just
As
like to know, like, because you're making your own, and you're a
Mhm.
little biased, obviously.
Yeah, and we also have awards, and they don't.
Oh, well, and there's that for those of you who are paying attention.
We
How
have
many
people.
awards have you? How many places have you entered your mead, and how many times have you won?
I've entered 7 places, and we've won 7 times.
Oh, that's awesome. Are they all local, or are they like different states?
We actually just took 3rd place in the nation out of 360 meaderies and 2,000 entries for our coffee mead.
Holy shit!
For your witch mead?
Our coffee mead.
We got to get the coffee mead next.
I don't think that was available when I purchased.
Probably
No,
not.
it wasn't. It was still fermented.
I ordered this shit like 6 months ago.
Well, yeah. So, caveat this: I was deployed for 5 months. So we had to put this on the back burner.
You have no idea how many times I just wanted to crack the shit and drink it anyway.
I know it's good. Mead's great. Like I can get fucked up on mead like any day of the week because it's so tasty. And there's this place in town in Clarksville. It's a blasphemous place. They say it's like a mead place, but it's a honey wine place. It's not a meadery.
So they, the federal government classifies mead as honey wine. So all those stupid names on the bottom of the bottles there, where it says like this, it says huckleberry mead. So there's a classification that we are actually considered a honey wine. That's why we fall under wineries. We're actually standalone. There's no grapes that are inside. This is actually 100% gluten free. So you can do that. And also honey is a naturally occurring sugar, so that's not processed. Nothing that we do is processed in that way. And so your body absorbs it faster, which means you get drunk faster, but also at the same time, your body heals from the drunk faster and your body recovers faster. So I've drank 2 or 3 bottles in one night, probably 4 or 5 as well, but and not had a hangover. The only time you ever have a hangover is if you mix and match, which is also something that I do because I create mead cocktails. So the logo is actually a funny story. So my art director, I was just barely started and it was still brewing in the house, and I just wanted to get a label so to put on whatever and just kind of like send the hooch out to the wild and see if it was worth the time. Right. So I was like, hey man, so the company's name is Bearded Viking. I'd had an Instagram named the Utah Bearded Viking for a long time. Now it's Montana Bearded Viking. But basically, I was like, hey, I'm going to name it the Bearded Viking Mead Company. I just need a picture of a Viking that's half skull and half regular. And he's like, cool, send me a picture of your face with your dreads on the side. And I was like, okay. I'm just thinking,
you didn't realize he was literally going to use your face.
Oh, I had no fucking clue, man. Like, I didn't want to be the fucking logo. Now, I'm like Jerry West at this point, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm just like, oh my God. So, like, everybody always asks, like, man, I can't believe you put your face on a bottle. I'm like, me either.
Yeah.
But the logo is so cool I'm not saying my face is cool. The logo is awesome.
For those of you that don't know who Jerry West is, he's the one that's for the NBA logo. Just, for those non-sports people.
There's the logo.
Yeah. That's a unique logo, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's attention grabbing for sure.
All the dudes love it.
all the guys in prison.
So
they flock to it.
Yeah, so that's how that started. Anyway, so my first batch of mead, getting back to the story, I fermented. It was 21%, and like I drank like 3 fingers of it, and it. You know the drink LaCroix or LaCroix or whatever the fuck it's called?
The water that, yeah.
No, it's a TV static that drives past like a beehive, and they want to call it bee flavored freaking TV static. Yeah, that's what it tasted like, except it was lightning. Lightning drove past a beehive. There was like it reminded me of the first time I ever tasted really shitty moonshine.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, there's a lot of ethanol in this. Like, whoa, like a lot.
So it just tasted really awful the first batch that you made.
Yeah, but I still drank it though.
Oh, well, I mean, you can't waste it. You know,
Well,
that's
I was in
alcohol
the
abuse.
pandemic, man. I was like,
Yeah, you know?
I was in my drug dealer wouldn't give me any weed.
Yeah,
And I wasn't
you
gonna
know?
go get banquets. Like it was rough. Anyway, so and all fucking around aside, I started making it because I'm a person when I start to do something, I just do it.
Yeah.
I spent like the first, I was living in Utah with my girlfriend, and I spent like the first 6-7 months just making batches of mead. First batch sucked. Second batch was better. I had 2 flavors. They used dark cherries in it because I read up on some of it. Then the third batch didn't ferment. Fourth batch molded. Fifth batch fucking oxidized. And just
Molded.
yeah. So what I don't do in my mead is I don't let fruit touch. I don't let fruit touch the mash.
Okay. So how do you get the fruit infusion?
Well, so you make a cider beforehand. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll just leave it that, right? So the thing is like you can't ever guess how many grams of sugar or anything else is in a cherry, right? You have no idea, so you can't actually fully calculate your alcohol scale, whether you're using bricks or you're using starting and final gravity stuff.
Okay.
So what I did is I decided I was going to say, okay, cool. I can always add X amount of ingredients in grams, and I can always turn that into a cider, and I can pull the fruit off so I don't get mold. Because you don't know what the fruit's carrying, so you boil it, so to speak, and then it kills all the fucking bacteria, and you get the flavor, and then you always know where your starting gravity is, and you always know what your final gravity is, and it's within like 0.3% every single time I made it.
Wow. Okay. So you've got a good
Bless you. Sorry.
calculation going.
Yeah. I invented my own process. You good? Are you allergic to the clove?
You allergic to bees?
Bees knees. No.
So the cool thing is like with the stuff that I do is I created my own process. So I moved up here to Montana with my fiance, and we're sitting here and we're just on the top of a mountain, and it snows 4 feet in one night. Like no shit.
4 feet?
Yeah, it was awesome. I
That's
love
awesome.
the winter.
Do you have like snowshoes to be able to try to get a walk on that?
No.
Or do you just don't even go out when it does that?
I have a tractor. I just go.
Oh.
Dude, I got 20 acres. Like I got my.
Do you have a snowmobile?
No, what? I have a side by side. Where the fuck would I have a snowmobile?
Because if there's that much snow, how the fuck are you going to do the side by side?
You hit 50 and it doesn't really stop.
And you're listening to a guy that got a jet ski by himself.
Yeah.
Because nobody jet skis anymore. They pontoon and boat together.
Yeah.
So
I would buy a snowmobile if I was up there by myself too. Why not?
I wouldn't. It'd be a waste of time. It only snows like 7 times a year.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say it's Montana. It snows a lot more than that.
But depends on the area.
I feel like it's only sunny 7 days out of the year.
it's only sunny in
today,
Philadelphia.
dude. It was like 89 degrees today.
Was it really?
It was gross.
Dude, it's
Super
cold here. Yeah, our weather systems are backwards right now.
It's supposed to be like we missed spring. Like it was just 60, and then it would snow at night and rain in the morning. 60, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, bitch, have you seen 90?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want to see 90. I fucking hate the heat. Get fucked."
Dude, like I moved north for a reason. I didn't want it to heat.
We all missed spring this year.
I wanted to never go back to Iraq, and that heat you can keep that shit to yourself. I don't want triple digits anything.
Yeah, right. Unless it's when you're making your mead.
No,
Not even? Okay.
75 degrees, bro. Like meter is kept at 75 degrees year round.
Oh,
Even when it's negative 35 or negative, the coldest has ever been up here since I've been here is negative 51.
so the nice thing about making mead is you don't have to store it like you do with bourbon. As soon as you're done cooking it, you bottle it.
Well, you have to, as soon as you're done with the fermentation process, the standard process is you make your mead, and then inside of your mead, your yeast will die, and they fall to the bottom, and then it becomes what they call lees. And this is sediment at the bottom, okay? It's a dead yeast culture. Then you pull off the head and the heart, since we're going to talk about easier to do this, right?
Yep.
And then you transfer that over for clarification, let it set, and then you go from having like probably in a 1 gallon jug, you probably have like a 1/4 inch at least, maybe half. And then in the next batch, you'll have like a 1/16 of an inch. And so then that clarifies it, lets everything settle. And then from there, you can bottle it as long as the gravity is not continuously going.
If you let these sit long enough, you'll have sediment from that
Tiny
lease.
bit. Yeah,
Just a
tiny, yeah. Because I don't filter.
Okay. Now, is that a normal process to not filter, or do other places filter? And
most meaderies will filter.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't want to pay for the filters because I don't. And two, I feel like when you filter anything, it pulls flavor, and I don't like that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So, what'd you do?
very
bro?
far.
Yeah, I did. They were out about the same height. You took the picture. You're the one like, get them the same. Photo OCD here.
I'm just a weak ass bitch.
I don't know. I thought you've been working out the whole time you've been gone.
Not my dick beaters.
That's a damn lie.
That's unfortunate.
That's a damn lie. You're deployed.
I didn't use the dorm grip while I was gone. You see the veins popping in my forearm and everything.
That is
It's
really,
in there.
That is really good mead.
You can fuck with that one. I don't want to rip the cork in half.
Why?
Because then I'd be pissed, because then there's half a cork in the bottle, and I have to pull the rest of that out.
He bit the tip.
Just a little bit, just to see how it tasted.
Interesting.
So
on,
dramatic.
It's not the first time you've had his lips on your hands.
All right.
You slimy bastard.
You've had my dog's saliva. That's not even worse.
This is like comedy.
This is comedy. This is art now.
If I were you, and thank God I'm not, I would get your. I would get your.
You could do that. What you're thankful for tomorrow. I'm thankful that I'm not these idiots.
Let me just work smarter here, not harder, okay?
I have some really dumb friends, and I'm thankful that I'm not them.
I'm like over here, like I'm the crayon eater. What the fuck's happening here?
I've been around the army guys too long. Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, sure. I'm both. I'm a crayon eating window licker, bro. I get it. Like I respect. No, what are you doing?
You're going the opposite direction.
Stop. Just open it up and now wiggle and
You
pull.
don't know how to use one of those, do you?
No, I don't open wine.
Is this their first fucking day?
Oh, this is
there we
awesome.
go.
This is great entertainment for everybody.
I don't know how to open wine.
How long does the process take from starting to drinking is what Bar wants to know.
5 weeks is my process.
5 weeks.
That's not.
He likes the
everybody's
logo too, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm doing my mead call.
Jesus Christ.
So, my process is a lot different than everybody else's. It's proprietary. I invented it. So when I was sitting up here and it was snowing and stuff and whatnot, I started reading all these books about mead and like kind of did one of those like spider web things, the red things, basically where you draw lines to
Yeah, that goes out.
Yeah, whatever. So you have your final product or whatever. But basically, like,
You didn't say when.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're getting fucked up tonight.
That's 15.7%, by the way. Just so
Jesus fuck.
I guess we're taking a trip to Valhalla.
31.
That's Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Well, the Valkyrie takes you to Valhalla.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's actually true. I'm proud of you right now. I'm so proud of you.
I've seen Thor, Ragnarok.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
It's killing me. So next thing, I just kind of invented this process. I just took all this information and I created a spreadsheet and I put it in it and I just started my own process. So this one right here, when you drink it, it's blueberry across the front of your tongue, the majority of your palate, allspice in the middle to cut it, and a very, very light lemon zest because some people are afraid of citrus.
Why'd you do lemon zest?
Because blueberry lemon is awesome. And a blueberry pie is awesome. And why not have a blueberry lemon pie?
I agree with you. I was just curious where your mind, like your process of, formulating this taste profile. and why you went with lemon and not like orange or like mandarin orange or like
Those
clementine or
those things are so much stronger than a blueberry flavor. So they're
Okay.
just
So
overpower.
you didn't want to drown out the blueberry.
No, the blueberry is awesome. So I do have a mead mosa, which is straight orange. It's blood orange.
Okay.
What is
I gotta
this?
get that because I like blood orange.
What is the
I also have
tattoo
a-
on the left arm?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a falcon. I'm a falconer. I have 2 peregrine falcons.
You have hummy what?
I have 2 peregrine falcons.
Hey, fun fact, my last name, it comes from the surname for falconer, for a falcon handler.
Faulkner.
Faulkner. Yeah. So that's actually a tribute to my first bird.
Yeah, it's blood blueberry.
That's delicious, right? That's
Like a blueberry pie.
15.7% on that one. So what is that?
You get fucked up on that one.
31 and a half proof. The other one's 31 proof or 30
That's
proof.
tasty. You have outdone yourself, sir.
Not making me a drinkers of you yet.
We only got 2 out of how many flavors do you have?
16. The new flavors that we have, the new flavors we have are the watermelon, which is super delicious. It tastes like eating a fresh watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not artificial. We use 600 pounds of pureed watermelon. So in each batch that I make, by the way, I use 1,000 pounds of honey, whatever amount of fruit, and I use 1,000 liters of water.
You came up with your own process that's proprietary to yourself that nobody else can reuse.
Yep.
Um,
So most
So what do
meads
the
are
other
used-
guys do?
well, I was
they
gonna
do
say,
what
how long have you been at it? But yeah, we can hit both those questions.
Yeah.
professionally or just in general? Because I started
In general,
2020.
when did you start making mead?
2020.
Okay, so
Pandemic.
5 years. And then professionally,
We've been open
As-
for 1 year.
for 1 year, you guys have been open.
Yep. And we won 7 awards.
How many employees?
I think 10, 20, somewhere in there. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
they're
really
growing
keep
exponentially.
Yeah, we just signed our 4th distributor, and this week we'll be starting our 5th. So we have, at the end of this week, we'll have covered Montana top to bottom, east to west, the entire state. We're actively distributing now in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
We've already shipped to 42 states. And yeah, so every competition we've entered in, except for the mead competition, this singular mead competition, by the way, so we're all aware, this is drinking men and women, blue collar men and women drink to hang out with your wife, enjoy a drink, get kind of relaxed, put a
Right.
bottle down between the two of you. This is not like, oh man, I'm going to go to a Renaissance fair alcohol because it's not shit. So
And the
we're all aware.
website for people to order.
I've got you covered right
oh,
here.
you already responded to them?
I got you right here. I'm going to copy and paste it.
Okay. good.
beardedviking.com. So the new 4 flavors I was covering that. So it's it's the mead mosa. So it's an orange mead. It's just 600 pounds of pureed oranges and juiced out and zested. And it tastes like, when I drink it, it reminds me of an orange runt.
Okay.
and
That's
then
interesting.
Orange runts are some of the best. Anyway.
I like the banana
then-
runs.
Who doesn't? That's like, I said some of the best, not the best. The raspberry lemonade, which is probably my new favorite. My blueberry lemon is my favorite right now, but the raspberry lemon takes a cake. A mint chocolate chip.
Interesting.
It tastes like a Thin Mint.
Oh, like the ones that you get
Like
from
the
the
Girl Scout
Scouts?
cookies. Yeah.
Oh, fuck me up, bro.
You put it
I'm
in
not a
ice.
Thin Mint guy, so
You don't like
lost
Thin
me.
Mints? Oh, man,
Yeah,
those
no,
are like the best ones.
Let me guess. You're like a tag-along or a freaking, what do they call them, a Samoa guy?
I'm a fucking Samoa guy.
Because he was in
know.
Hawaii.
Yeah, fucking guy.
Samoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a Samoa, please.
You want Samoa these
Samoa.
knuckles.
Samoa. Who wants
Samoa,
a fucking
dude.
Thin Mint?
Hold
Like,
on.
you want
Everybody-
a Thin Mint? Hey,
everybody.
look. You want a Thin Mint? Go stay in one of those not upscale hotels and let them leave
I
one of
also
them
smoke
cheap ass mints.
I also smoked Newports back when I smoked, so that's why I like minty stuff. You know what I mean?
I started with Newports, and then I moved over to the Camel Crushes, the
and
menthol
then I went
crushes,
to
those
doing
extra
dip.
extra.
And I did Skull and Wintergreen.
Yeah,
Skull
you
and
did
some
all the
other-
mintiness.
Yeah, I did a lot of
I-
minty things.
I currently run Black Buffalo because it's only nicotine and in tea leaves. It's not tobacco.
I run
Really?
Copenhagen straight. Always have.
Too bad
Tea
that's
leaves.
the only part of you that's straight.
You would not be wrong. It does curve slightly to the left.
Ask your sister.
Ask your sister. So some of the other flavors that we do have coming up, by the way, you guys are gonna love this. So
Sorry, Mom. I know you're watching right now.
She is not watching.
She is watching.
Is she?
I shared her the link.
Hi, Mom.
Hello,
Love you.
Mom.
Miss you. Hope you're doing well.
So the new flavors that are not seasonal that are coming out. So we do have a pumpkin spice, which is very seasonal. I think Ryan would really enjoy that one. It does say, by the way, on the back of our
why did we just say Ryan would enjoy the pumpkin? Because you two look like the pumpkin spice latte drinkers.
I'm sorry, I don't have a Han Solo jacket or UGG boots.
He does.
I don't have a Han Solo boots.
Well,
Jacket.
oh, he consolidated and combined both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a Han Solo jacket or boots.
Anyway, so
Han Solo boots.
Han Solo boots, and then we
That's
have
gonna be a new thing.
the coffee. We have the
I'm gonna make a shirt for that. That'd be funny.
that would be funny. The Viking's blood, which is cherry, orange, cinnamon, and hibiscus. And that one's have you ever had wassail? Anybody here a wassail fan? I love wassail in the wintertime. It's delicious.
Is that like peyote?
I need to go wassailing. So,
Yeah, here we go. Come a wassailing. Wassailing. Do you not Christmas?
yeah.
I'm a pagan and I know this.
Yeah.
What?
That's in the song for Christmas.
What is?
The wassailing.
What song?
Jesus Christ.
Ask your mother. She'll tell you.
What song?
I'm not here for it.
Apparently, he doesn't even know the song.
I don't know the name of it.
Well, sing it.
No. I'm not
Here
singing
we
any
come a
goddamn thing.
wassailing among the leaves so green. That song.
I don't know that
Here
song.
we come a wassailing so fair to be
Yeah,
seen.
yeah, I've never heard that song.
You have.
You have. It's a
Here
thing
we
every-
come a wassailing.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
feel like that's one of those skits where somebody, it's like
the Caroline song.
they change the
It
lyrics.
says "Here We
just a
Come a Wassailing" is literally the name of it.
I've never
Yeah.
heard that song.
1,000% you've walked by people singing that song wherever.
I didn't grow up around carolers.
Stand by.
I grew up. I have not heard that song. Nope.
That's
Nope.
You never heard that
you,
song?
Nope.
no, God bless you and send you a happy new year. What?
Yep.
Where did
I've
you
not-
grow up? Nope.
You can't do that. You can get us canceled.
I mean,
Dude.
Yeah, it's funny. How have you not heard that?
I've not heard that. I'm used to jingle bells and
They sing
grandma
it
got
like-
run over by a reindeer.
Like every mall that I've ever been in, they'll usually
Ever.
sing that.
Right
Wait a
next
minute,
to the freaking the ringing freaking fake Santa
Where
Claus.
is-
They're ringing the bells and all that
Where
stuff.
the hell am I from?
Eastern Kentucky.
How many malls do you think we have?
Corbin.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Because they didn't walk anywhere. They were afraid of the hills have eyes shit.
yeah.
No, that's more
Did you
like
have carols?
Georgia.
You didn't have
No.
carolers.
No.
Which is weird because like Kentucky's not that cold. It's
Yeah,
wet
but you have
now.
to get like into a bigger city like Lexington. I was in BFE.
Oh, okay. Well, now you learned something today.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
And then we have the
So wassailing.
and then we have the Blood Eagle, which is the choke cherry.
That's a
vanilla.
tortured way to die.
Yeah, I definitely other ways I'd like to go, like in my sleep.
Yeah, I don't want to have that done. If anybody's seen the TV series Vikings, they do that to several people on that.
Actually, our good dear friend Scooter Brown named that mead.
Really?
Ooh.
And Scooter Brown, for those of you who don't know, is from the Brown Band. Scooter Brown Band. Also,
Like the.
like was this like the Ohio State? We're gonna put the "the" in front of it.
Well, no, because like he's Scooter Brown and he's part of the Scooter Brown band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
poke fun at Ohio State because they
suck.
they added the Ohio State, and I'm like, no, it's just Ohio State. Nobody.
Yeah.
When did,
I
I
mean,
think it
while
was Robert Smith or somebody that went to that school that started that.
I mean, while we're on that topic,
anyway,
University of Texas can't be called UT anymore.
Why?
So-
It could be called UTI though.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who choked worse. Did Texas choke worse this year than more than anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yes.
Oh, they look like Karl Malone in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, they came out really hard and just went super limp.
Horns up, horns down.
Yeah.
Anyway, wassailing. That's interesting that you didn't know about.
What is
that.
it? Montana Grizzlies?
There's Montana
What?
Grizzlies and this Montana State University, which is in Missoula, I think is the Grizzlies, and then there's the one in Bozeman.
They did good at hockey.
Bobcats.
The Bobcats, yeah.
The Bobcats. The Cats also choked in the championship in the FCS thing, which, I grew up as a University of Utah fan, so we finally became like part of a respectable conference, the Pac-12, and then the Pac-12 decided to shit on itself and send the.
Wait, you
SC
grew up in Utah?
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Utah
You're not
is,
Mormon?
No, I was, but then I found Odin.
Oh, okay. So you're pagan,
Yeah.
which was that also part of how you decided to make mead? Was that because it's part of that whole culture?
No.
So it didn't factor in at all.
Not at all. No, I'm pagan because, if we want to ask the question, I'll give you the answer. But here's why. Not to bring religion or anything, but when you deploy as much as we all have,
Yes.
you see what a man can do to another man or a woman or whatever a person can do to another person, and then you hear that we were made in God's image, and you're like, well, where's he at? When you're watching all this terrible shit. And then you're like, well, he's like forgiving us for our next life. And I'm like, I can't deal with that mentally. I just can't. And in my religion, my gods are petty. We're made in their image too. So like you piss off Odin, well, he's going to shit on your parade. And I can at least be respected by that. Like acceptable, right? Like Old Testament God, I get it. I feel like there's so much more room for activities behind me. Like,
Yeah. Look at all this space.
what's going on?
We got all kinds of stuff on shelves and whatnot behind us that we can be sharing. I need to get one of those like air evacuators up here, or like a air scrubber or whatever, so we can have cigars while we're up here. Be awesome.
Yeah,
And we just pull it right out that window.
that'd be cool.
As you can tell, we have a lot of bottles, and it's not even a half of it behind us. It's like probably.
Well, I mean, you guys do a lot of tastings for bourbon. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a problem.
We were invited to do some tastings
Finally caught up. Perfect.
Good.
over in Minnesota and whatnot, and I couldn't make it. I was in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff at the meadery, so I sent one of my guys, one of my best friends. Actually, you guys met Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nate went and he called me. He's like, "Hey, bro, so we don't ever need to make mead like anybody else, okay?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah?" So the mead that won, this is why I don't care about mead competitions, by the way. The mead that
I was
won,
like, if you don't care about mead, you own a mead company.
I like the mead competitions themselves, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because the mead that won was a pine and lemon mead. They used pine needles.
I was going to say pine sol.
Exactly.
That's immediately what came into my mind is pine sol, like the lemon pine sol. Like,
Yeah.
why would that win?
I don't know. Because there's mead people who drink mead to just drink and have fun, and then you have mead snobs. And man, a mead snob is probably one of the worst people to deal with because they're pretentious about an alcohol nobody drinks.
So it's like the microbrewery companies, the people that go taste those you have the normal people that are there to enjoy it, and then you have the snobs that are just going to be ridiculing the shit out of it. And we always make them fun of that same thing in the bourbon community because it's like you have these people that, I don't know, we joke around and say smooth because a lot of people don't like when you say something is smooth.
I don't know why. I love a good smooth bourbon.
Right.
You guys got to get some shit from Montana, by the way.
We had
So I had one of my top 5 favorite bourbons for the longest, and it comes direct from Enos, Montana.
Yeah, Willie's Distillery, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Bighorn bourbon, by God.
75th Ranger Regiment guy.
So interesting about that is I ordered 30 of their. So they have a Montana honey moonshine that they make.
Ooh.
So I ordered 30 of their barrels. I'm
Okay.
going to age the OG or the wildflower honey mead in it for a year.
That should be interesting.
All right.
It will have a bourbon bite to it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I would love to try that when that's done next year.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this.
So,
Yeah.
so because I have to age it for a year and the whatever, all that process, I told everybody this is not like, and like, here's the thing: you can buy it like a Chaucer's mead for like $17.95 off a shelf or $12.95 or whatever, right? And I've had this conversation with all my distributors. I'm like, hey, listen, like, we're not out here selling black velvet, so this is a middle tier to high tier alcohol because it's so it's clean, and when you drink it, it's absolutely, you don't feel like you're drinking alcohol. It's just fresh, at least from my perspective. You guys are the guys.
Velvet,
Reviews.
if you please.
Yeah.
Bonnie Raitt? No. Yeah, that's isn't it?
Bonnie, I think so.
I think it's Bonnie Raitt sings that.
Yeah.
My brain's not working very good.
He keeps triggering songs. It's his fault.
Your brain just works that way. It's like an ADD brain.
Well, if
where you always have like a fucking soundtrack playing in the background.
I do, but if you trigger it, it's like, I got you.
That jukebox just starts and drops the record.
Jukebox hero.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think so far? Blueberry
So
lemon.
far, I'm impressed. The Valkyrie for me is the better of the two for my palate.
Yeah.
I would love to try the other ones. So we'll have
Sounds
to.
like you have to come to Montana.
We'll have to do a Montana trip. You're mixing?
Yes.
Oh,
Why
you're
would
a
you
bastard.
You're a terrorist. What'd you do? Somebody take this shit away from the redhead.
Am I not supposed to do this?
No,
You can do whatever you want, except for like.
I would have thought you would have
Within
stayed true to
reason.
your content container. Either way.
What? Stayed true to what? It's mead, and they were both really good.
They are both good.
The Valkyrie, I think, was I didn't like. I think
You didn't like the lemon part?
no, the clove. I'm not as big on
the
clove.
Tier. That's in the tier.
Yeah, the tier was the clove.
Yeah,
the
I know.
Valkyrie
That's what
is
I'm.
the better.
That's what I'm touching. Is the tier?
So we're both in agreement that we like the Valkyrie better.
Yes, I'm not. I'm not huge on clove.
The
So
only thing I don't, and this isn't a knock on you at all, the only thing I don't like is how strong the lemon zest is that comes through.
Oh, really?
Like I get a lot of lemon zest finish on this. It lingers more than the blueberry for me. That's just mine.
I don't
my
get
palate.
that.
I don't get it either.
I
But
got a
that's cool,
blueberry.
like,
I got a blueberry hug, and it made me want to be like.
I do get a ton of blueberry, but the
Oompa,
lemon
oompa
zest like
dee doo.
sticks around. Like it's like a. It's not bad. It's like when you have a lemon head. Like give you the candy,
after
lemon
flavor?
head candy.
Yeah.
It has that same kind of tartness.
Well, we used 600 pounds. Oh no, sorry, 400 pounds of blueberries. And then we hand juiced 75 pounds of lemons for that and zested them.
And juiced them.
Now, when I combine the two, it's blueberry on the front with a tardy finish.
Yeah, it should be.
How much did you drink? How much did you add to your drink that was one versus the other?
I tried
If
to
you're
be
gonna
pretty
do-
much half and half.
I don't feel like you did.
I was pretty close.
I
think my eyeball was eyeballed correctly because I didn't have
That's
bourbon.
like the-
I didn't have any bourbon before this.
I was just like thinking about Thor. Really?
So one thing you guys can do, by the way, so our peach is one of our top sellers, and our jalapeno raspberry is also.
That's one I want to try.
I think the jalapeno raspberry was not available when I went to order.
I know it's sold out. The apple pie, by the way, is also really good too.
And is that one
Yeah.
also sold out?
That's
They're
what
all-
it was.
they're all
Is I
back
went
in
on the
stock.
website to order
And
the
we were sold out of
jalapeno
everything.
raspberry, and it was sold out. And I'm like, where do I go from here, my man? And he's like, try this or try that.
Yeah, and we had the wild berry chili pepper, which is also super good. You'll taste one of 4 berries on the front of your tongue. Mm-hmm. So blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, or blackberry, with a pepper wash on the back end that goes away. So it's a burn on the back end. Yeah, I use
black pepper, or white pepper, or red pepper.
Arbol peppers.
So help me understand.
What's an arbol pepper?
A spicy pepper.
So help me understand this. What is it? And I've noticed this on my end and your end and other people's.
Don't be looking at my end.
For instance, the habanero mango whiskey, right? I think is what it was that we made the margaritas out of.
What?
The habanero whiskey.
Yeah.
We went up to the restaurant on the river with Mom and Arnold.
Oh yeah.
Was it a habanero?
They used habanero mango.
It was habanero mango or something. It was a habanero and a fruit whiskey.
Yeah.
And we made the margaritas out of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
What is it about something with sweet and then that spice that just goes well together?
Because we all love a good buffalo wing.
Yeah. And it shocks your tongue, your taste buds, so it gives you that. It's like, you know how people always talk about sweet and savory?
Yep.
Yeah.
And salty and whatever.
Sweet and spicy is a type of barbecue sauce too.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, sweet and spicy.
Everything comes back to it, yeah.
Is distribution for wine the same for liquor?
Oh, I know why you're saying this now.
No, it's not. So every state has different regulations, right? So and every single industry has different regulations. So because of Al Capone, we have a 3-tier system, and you can't be a manufacturer, a distributor, and a retailer. You can only be a manufacturer and a retailer if you're not a spirit.
Correct.
Right.
So you're not a spirit.
No, we're a wine. We're considered a wine. So
I knew you're not a ghost, but you're not a spirit either.
So I guess what I'm getting at is it let's say a distribution company distributes liquor, right? Or spirits.
Yeah.
They can't pick you up and distribute you without a different license?
Depends on the state.
Kentucky, for instance.
Kentucky.
Rather specific.
If their rules, which are, majority of Kentucky's a dry county. No, it used to be.
Not anymore. Not in a long time. I was born and raised in one of the last dry counties.
Mississippi, though, for sure is. Anyway, so we just signed with RNDC. So they distribute all the things.
Republican National Defense?
No, I can't remember what they're called. But they're the largest distributor of alcohol in the country.
Are they the ones that Buffalo Trace parted ways with?
I don't know.
Buffalo Trace left one and joined another. I can't remember which one's which.
Continue with the story.
Yeah, continue.
Anyway, so we just signed with RNDC, and so they, in some states, can distribute all 3 things: beer, wine, and spirits. In other states, they can't. And then also other states, like the Commonwealth of Virginia. If you sell there, they tell you what you can sell your alcohol for. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, they take all of your money that you're paid, and then they send you a check 90 days later for what you have left. Mm-hmm. So for all the folks in Virginia, fix your shit, because we're not going there. Sorry. Mm-hmm. You guys
Virginia is I heard that's a difficult one anyway, just on the premise of the fact that they're a commonwealth.
Kentucky's a commonwealth. It's not necessarily that premise. It's the way. So Virginia is, not only are they a state-ran liquor for pricing, but they do some extra things on top before they ever return.
Being from Utah, everybody would be like, "Oh man, Utah's liquor laws are funny." I'm like, no, they're actually not that funny compared to Mississippi, New Jersey, Virginia.
They did terminate from the RNDC.
Yeah. Buffalo Traces, they terminated from RNDC.
You're right. That was February 1st, 2023, though.
Yep.
That was a while ago. But RNDC is
they're huge, but
huge reach.
they had a lot of issues with them, so they terminated.
Ooh.
We're
Sazerac was trying to renegotiate with him, which is the other brand that owns Buffalo Trace.
There's lawsuits and other stuff involved. But anyways,
that's interesting.
He triggered it, and I was like, oh.
Man, this has been awesome. I love this.
I feel like I don't want to just cork it back and let it go to waste.
No, you can't.
So,
We have to finish these now. Now we uncorked them. We have to finish them.
You know, it's really, really good.
what's that?
Do you
Freezing
have any
it?
gin? Do you have any gin?
Any what?
Gin?
Do I have gin? I think I have. I might.
I don't.
You can.
No,
make
I have
both
vermouth. I have vermouth left. I drank all the gin.
So you can make both of those into a martini. The purple one, tier, we call it a tiertini. 4 ounces of that, 1 ounce of gin, and a 1/4 ounce of simple syrup wet shake.
Is that on your website?
No, because I haven't updated it.
You should definitely release a Bearded Viking cocktail book.
Yes,
And
I agree. Or at least put it on the website.
Do you have ginger beer?
Yes, not in here, my house though.
What the fuck?
I have bourbon. You see what I have in my house?
You don't have ginger beer then. That's not.
I can drive to a store and get it.
I don't even think he has any Tito's left.
No, I don't have any vodka in the house right now.
What?
I don't have any tequila in the house right now. I need to go to the grocery store or the store in general.
So if you do,
We do have vodka in the house.
Oh, the Bargo?
Yeah, I have Bargo 459.
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't drink vodka anyway.
I don't either.
You can actually turn the blueberry lemon into a mead mule, and same thing with the tier.
How has anybody used mead to cook with it? Anybody in the comments let us know?
He just said he injected meat with it.
I know, but anybody else in the comments let us know if they've cooked with mead or other liquors or whatever.
You can actually. I like the
everybody
jalapeno.
likes beer chicken, but
Beer butt chicken.
I like
Try it.
Iowa.
So take the beer can, pour it out, and then punch in the top, and then pour in bourbon or a whiskey, and then insert it. Oh, it changes.
Life changing.
Oh yeah, it changes the whole game.
Interesting, because I would think like the beer, the whole concept behind it is to keep the chicken moist on the inside, and that's why the alcohol, like when it boils.
I feel like mead would be great with seafood because of the honey.
Depends on the seafood.
So like
depends on the
scallops,
meat.
for example.
Right. So you could do. Can I help you? Can I help you? That's my Great Dane.
That's a big ass dog. That was like a bear face that popped in there.
So for seafood, I actually recommend more of our drier meads, so like our Blood Eagle, the choke cherry vanilla, or like the Huckleberry that I'm drinking right now, which is 15.8%. So I would recommend those. Also, if you're drinking if you're eating like pork or whatever, our peach mead is awesome. Awesome. It tastes like you're biting into a fresh peach.
Which is the tier one?
No,
peach
that's
is
pear.
Oh,
wrong.
Fuck. Same.
Have another pour.
Starts with a P,
Have another pour.
ends with Enos.
The cool thing at the meadery is we have different setups, so we can make you a mead garita, which also you could do with tequila if you had some, but you don't. But it's fine, whatever. The jalapeno raspberry is really, really good in a mead garita. Then also we do like pina coladas with the OG, so we just add the pina colada
Hope you
mix
didn't want any more of that.
to the OG, and then we then we just shake and stir and go. And one of the coolest things that we've invented, or not even invented, we just do, is we make mead slushies.
I could get behind that. Mead slushies.
So when it's
Who the hell
75
can't
degrees,
get behind a slushy?
I'm just saying.
Correct.
You do that with a funnel cake? Fuck me up.
Now, I will say, I do kind of lean more towards an icy, like the brand, the
What's
icy.
the difference between a slushy and an icy?
So the
No, it's
slushies
slurp.
are a little more chunked ice, whereas the slushy is almost like a
Shaved ice?
Or sorry, the icy is more like a foam. Like if you go get an icy, it's like
Frothy?
are you one of those fucking weird people that can tell me the difference between like cubed ice and ice and ice?
I like what drive-through fucking places at Sonic Ice. Mm-hmm. I think they have the best ice because it's those like little tiny ball ice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know one of the best ways? Speaking of ice, one of the best ways to actually quote unquote distill your alcohol you put it on ice, like you turn it into ice. So when we make a peach slushy at 15.5%, what happens is all the water freezes, and you have the leftover, which is peach alcohol, straight pure peach alcohol.
Good God.
And it goes from 15% to 31 to 35%.
Can you
with
make
no alcohol
mead
burn.
Jello shots?
We do at the meadery.
Oh, fuck.
So does the meadery have its own tasting room and restaurant at this point?
We don't have a restaurant. We have a tasting room. It's a really small tasting room, but we created a drinking corral outside. It looks just like a corral, and it holds all the drunks, which is fun. And
So you're open 7 days a week?
no, what? I'm not a
What's the hours for that place?
Monday through Thursday, 11 to 5, and Friday and Saturday, 4 to 9.
Are you going to have food trucks and stuff show up?
Yeah, we have food trucks. I used to make smash burgers. I called them trash can burgers because there's a video of me, a couple of videos of me getting hit on the face with a trash can by midgets in midget wrestling.
Awesome. Are you going to have other events at the meadery?
Yeah, we actually just got done with our main opening, actually working with Scooter Brown, and we're going to bring a concert series to the meadery.
Okay. What's that going to look like?
Once a month, we'll have a major band come in. It will be the drinking corral will be VIP. Everything else will be all like stadium seating / like lawn seats, and we'll play until, because where I live, there's no noise ordinance.
So, what are some other things that people can look forward to from this new meadery that you've established up there in Montana?
Just lots of fun. Like when you come out to the meadery, there's no technology. There's zero technology other than the music playing in the background. I don't give out the Wi-Fi password, and it's shit cell service. So you sit around in big giant tables,
and it forces people to socialize.
Yep, and around bonfires.
Love that.
Yeah. So look forward to hanging out with people you have no idea who the hell they are, and get to know people and putting your fucking phone down.
You can do like a Burning Man type thing.
Nope, not at all. Not one fucking part of me. Nope. Y'all can keep that shit to yourself. I got asked if I wanted to do a Renaissance fair. I said no. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, think about it, because mead.
Yeah. No, totally good.
Yeah. And you can have LARPing. You can have LARPing going on.
No. We ain't got to do the LARPing.
Why not?
Let's just do full-on jousting.
I'm behind that. The jousting?
Yeah,
you can't fake that.
Let's just do jousting.
You get fucked up, get knocked off a horse.
You guys seen the MMA where they're in fucking full on? Yeah, I would probably do something like that.
Yeah. So what? You should have that. You should have an event for that. Have people drink mead, sign a waiver, and then be like, battle to the death.
I think the difference between us and other meaderies
is that is like the guy just gets knocked out.
We're not a novelty, right? So outside of the mead competition, we've competed, like an average competition we compete in. We're competing against 25 to 30 breweries and between 3 and 5 wineries. And we take consistently second or first place.
Uh-huh.
We're just regular people.
Is there one out there that has beat you more?
No.
Who comes in second?
We usually come in second because it's a brew competition, so they can't give a mead company the one. The ones that we win that matter the most to us are always the People's Choice Awards.
How many times? How many
second place victories do I have?
No. How many times do your competition come up to you and ask you things that you can't tell them? Like they ask you about your proprietary process, or what is it that they ask you generally that you can't tell them?
Well, so the mead companies don't come up and talk to me because they just don't.
They're too proud.
I just think that we took too much of their business.
Okay.
So they probably don't like us, which is sad because competition drives excellence, and I believe that there is a good mead in 95% of the.
Well, that's I think what capitalism is all about, right?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be that way. So most of the time the meaderies don't come up and talk to us, or if they enter in and and then we enter as well, they'll withdraw their entry.
Okay,
which is weird for only being in business for a year.
And
it's not like I There's a meadery in Gillette called Lost Cause, Gillette, Wyoming, Lost Cause or Big Lost. Sorry, Big Lost. Such a good fucking mead company. I love their mead. I do. I absolutely love their mead. They have this hibiscus and hops mead.
Oh, okay.
It's so fucking good. I don't know why it tastes
Probably
like
smells
cherries.
like weed and honey.
No, dude, it's just like tastes like cherries. It's
Really
fresh cherry. I don't know why. To me, I don't know. Maybe COVID
interesting.
still
I wouldn't
fucking
think
me
that
up,
those two things mixed together would make a cherry taste, but that's interesting.
Yeah, it's super delicious. And
I
they
didn't
run
get the lemon you got, so
I mean, it's one of the main ingredients, but it stands out the most to me. That's blueberry lemon mead. Lemon's like
I got all blueberry.
I got the lemon
and allspice. That allspice cuts a palate in the middle. It's delicious.
I didn't get a lot of allspice on that one.
Really?
I got all violet. She turned violet.
You do like a seasonal stuff?
Yeah, so like the choke cherry vanilla, the pumpkin spice, those are kind of like seasonal.
Well, you know where I was going with this.
Huckleberries.
We had already talked about seasonal.
The pumpkin spice?
Yeah, because I said you two look more like the pumpkin spice motherfuckers than I do.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What was I doing at that point?
We were talking
fucking
about
with
Han
this?
Solo. No, we were talking about Han Solo.
Oh, the
coat
Han
boots.
Solo boots. That's right. That's what I called the Han Solo boots instead of Han Solo vest and boots.
That's all, folks. Have a good night.
I forgot about that.
Oh, hey, by the way, how's that?
I've
How's
had
that meat?
160 days of not getting sleep. Okay.
How's that meat hitting you guys? You guys feeling a little bit buzzed?
It's pretty good.
You guys-
I'm starting to get buzzed for sure because I had bourbon before, so I'm definitely caught a buzz.
I can tell. Your eyes say it all for me.
That's all, folks.
I'm definitely starting to catch a good buzz.
Nice.
What's interesting about mead for me is that
The sad thing is I could probably turn this up and drink it like it's Kool-Aid, but it's not going to hit me like Kool-Aid.
right, it's interesting the way the alcohol from this hits versus like a champagne or a wine or any sort of other spirit. It's kind of like a slower.
Well, you lost me
Warming?
at champagne and wine because, well, I don't really drink any of those.
You've never had champagne on New Year's?
You've
actually-
never had
Or
a
at a wedding?
mimosa?
I
Or a
tried
mimosa?
champagne, a sip of
Or a
champagne.
mimosa?
Let's see, I've tried a sip of champagne once. I've had mimosas
Bruh.
twice.
Ryan, where the fuck did you grow up, man? Like you've never like.
I drank bourbon and whiskey and moonshine.
He grew up in the hills of Eastern Kentucky, buddy.
I
Hills
could
have
get
eyes.
real moonshine.
Like, think the hills have eyes, but then scarier.
Like,
Fair.
I could get moonshine.
Can I ask you a question about the Appalachia? Do you whistle at night? Do you when you were growing up in the hills? Did you ever whistle at night?
Yeah,
Oh, you're not really from like Appalachia. Doesn't do that.
yeah, we do.
All the things that are out there.
We whistle occasionally.
I didn't whistle. I just
So
You guys know about that?
walking from my house to my grandparents' house, somebody usually always whistled. Actually, what me and my pappy did is to signal I was headed that way. Like he would step out of his house, and it was probably, I don't know, football field length, and you would hear, ooh, 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 ooh. And I would
Yeah,
do
'cause
the
he
same
wasn't-
thing back and start walking.
Because nobody in Appalachia fucking whistles at night in the hills. It's a superstition. It's a real thing.
It's available in 42 states now?
Yeah, we can ship to 42 states.
Yeah, they can ship to
Well,
42 states.
Give and take on Virginia, so it might be 41 today. It
Okay,
might be
so we'll say
42.
41 to be safe.
let's just say 40.
Yeah,
And
that's
if you're
just a nice
close,
Round number.
if you're close to Montana, depending on
always
which
drive up
side
there.
of Montana,
Oh yeah, because Montana is huge.
And you also want to, if you're in that area, you definitely want to go visit the meadery because there's a lot of things going on there. Check their website out because there's going to be events. They're going to post those events on that
I'm
website.
pretty sure he said they do tombstone reenactments of the OK Corral. So
Did not say that.
have you seen Super Troopers?
They like ginger snaps.
Have you seen our interview with Steve Lemmy?
Yeah,
No,
that was a different story
That's awesome.
for a day
I
that people
fucking love
should go
that.
watch.
I love it.
Do you need assistance?
Yeah, right. Well, JT, we
Love it.
love that you came on. We appreciate everything that you're doing over there at the Mead Company. We're gonna have to steal more of your mead. I'm not saying the Bearded Viking Mead Company.
There we
I
go. We
can't.
did it.
I just
We did it.
can't
We
do
Yes,
it.
you
did
just
it.
did it.
I just can't
You
do it.
just
did
did
it.
it.
No, I just say the Mead Company.
No, you just said the whole thing.
I know the Bearded Viking Mead Company.
There you go. Twice in
that
a
was-
row.
We're
It's just
here.
more fun to fuck with you guys.
I don't know that you're fucking
I
with us.
think-
I think it's just genuine at this point.
I
Either
think you finally
way,
figured it out.
Yeah,
I think you
I
figured
have
it
to
out.
see it
fine.
at least 3 more times to fuck with all the people that are watching live.
I mean, you could do what I do for our warm ups: whip your weight in Wildcats, whip your weight in Wildcats, whip your weight in Wildcats.
Could do that.
Anyways,
What's
we're holding
Ron
his
Burgundy?
dogs
What's
up.
Ron Burgundy say?
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy, Sandy.
So I used to have a podcast I run. It's called Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. I pass it off to some of my friends. So whenever I close out, I have a phrase that I say.
Okay.
If you've not followed us on TikTok, then you probably don't know. But I'm Viko. Cheers, motherfuckers.
Cheers.
Cheers.